is a rebooted series. What if Deku was the son of the strongest man in the world? Why is being rebooted? Because I found a better way to tell the story. That's why. Deal with it. So, our story begins, well, at Izuku and his twin sisters, birth. As they're born, their mother ends up dying in the process due to natural causes, leaving them alone to be with their father. Their father ends up not taking it well, and, well, he ends up remarrying a year later to a pro hero, name of Mandalay or Shinon Shiozaki, one of the wild pussycats. Yes, I will be aging them all up. They're all in their she's in her late 30s right now. But because Izuku and Izumi are technically now Saiyans, and so is her father, and being the last of his kind, he kind of brings up the topic he kind of needs to revive his race. Mandalay not wanting to help out, but also realizing that she couldn't do it alone, has the help of the other pussycats, and they get pregnant as well, or they become his mates. This still isn't quite enough because, like I said, he's the last of his race. So Mandalay allows him to have relationships with other female pros, and he gets a lot more than what you see in the background. And now let's switch over to their father's point of view. Or, sorry, I'll just talk about it. Basically, he is just trying to have as kids to try and rebuild his race. But he gets a call on his phone and has to leave due to work. And now let's switch over to what he's doing at his job. As we arrive onto Beerus's world, or I guess Vegito's world, now that he's the god of destruction. Yep. Izuku and Izumi are the kids of Vegito, the god of destruction. You know, my lord, you need to go see your kids. You've been here for a few weeks now. What are you waiting for anyways? Someone really powerful. After Beerus's death 2,000 years ago, nothing has been the same. I understand. Having to reset the Earth was a pretty big deal for you. I understand it was troubling. And the death of Quiet Whis. Let's not talk about it right now. I do say, there are only a few people alive left enough to challenge your might. Most people are just too afraid. Who are you actually waiting for? The android? No. Oh. Is it Kula? Yeah. My, it's been a while since I've seen Lord Kula. If you're wondering why I'm adding Cooler into the series, it's because I want to have a little variety. Looks like Cooler's arriving right now, my lord. Let's see what his deal is today. As Vegito talks with Cooler, Salza ends up walking out of the ship. Salza tries to protect Cooler, but Cooler couldn't care. Cooler ends up setting boundaries, or trying to set up boundaries for Vegito, demanding that Vegito should only come around when destroying planets, but allow Cooler a few days in notice to evacuate the people. But Vegito says he doesn't care, and if Cooler wants to insinuate that he should follow the rules, or Cooler's rules, then he'll have to force him to, as they get into a fight. Now we leave to go check onto the kids. Izuku is just running around his house playing with his mom Shinon, while his sister's playing around with the other girls, and they're all of age. I'm changing, they're all of them are close to their 30s and 40s. Yeah. And they're all at least a few weeks pregnant with kids. Izuku's about 3 and Izumi's the same age as their twins. As Izuku's running in the house, he ends up tripping and hitting his head. Mandalay goes to check on him, but sees that the floor cracked instead, and she wonders if he's okay, as he says he's completely fine. but she wonders how his head broke the floor, and Izuku says he doesn't know, as he continues running around the house. Shinon just gets more confused, wondering what DNA could make him this strong. She does know about the Saiyans and how they need to repopulate, but she doesn't know the abilities that come with it. Izumi is just sitting on the couch. A few more years pass as Izuku has a few more siblings, and he gets to see his dad every few weeks. He gets to see him a good bit, but not too much due to his job as the god of destruction. During this time, Izuku gets a quirk, and so does his sister. His sister has the ability to breathe fire and turn herself into fire somewhat, and her brother has the ability to manipulate fire, and that's it. Both of them are still in primary school as they meet a kid named Katsuki Bakugo. He's a bit of a douchebag to everyone else but them, due to them having quirks that are cool but not as cool as him, as he says, and they just joke around and have fun. Bakugo isn't going to be as pampered as in the original story due to Izuku and Izumi having quirks that can match Bakugo or seem even better than his. Now we jump to the household of Vegito, as Mandalay picks up the phone and sees a few messages that her husband has sent them. Messages that lead to coordinates to different parts of Japan. One coordinate leads to the highest mountains in Japan, to a training school. Another one leads to a beach that she looks at, and it continues off into the open ocean. And then another one trails into the very deep forest, and it has very specific coordinates and to follow a specific path, which just confuses her. Due to Vegito's god title, he ends up getting bored and wants to find people to fight. And due to this, he ends up recreating the Tenkaichi Budokai. But he makes it a big event and puts a lot of money into it, having the Galactic Patrol, which are still around, to help him out. And he also has some of the girls put in their money to help fund it. And he gets to finally see his kids use his quirks now that they are now that they have them. And he makes jokes that he could just take their quirks away and use them for himself, joking around, saying not to use their quirks inside the house, or else he'll do it. Just joking around, in general. As the Tenkaichi Budokai is funded, he changes some things. Mainly that the tournament is every year instead of every 3 years. Year and a half instead of every 3 years. And he allows people to use quirks, but they can't use blade-type quirks or firing quirks. Stuff that increases strength or changes forms are allowed, but only a certain type. So, now that that's in order, we'll do another time jump. A few more years pass. Izuku's mothers again are pregnant with more kids, and Izuku finally, being let's say 9, he wants to join the junior division in the Tenkaichi Budokai, but he's just a little too young. You have to be 10 years old to join it, and he's 9. Since his birthday's only like a few months, 8 months away, he can't join. But his mothers say that they can take him, but he probably will lose due to him not being trained in any sort of martial arts. Vegito brings up that maybe they should take him to the schools he sent them, or to the coordinates he sent to them, mainly the ones higher up in the mountains. As Nagant says that it's a 3-hour drive there, and then they have to walk another 2 hours. They're not going there. As Vegito brings up, Would you rather take that, or would you rather take the 2-hour drive and the 3-hour boat trip? Or would you rather take the 10-hour drive and the 2-hour walk? As they realize that school in the mountains is the best one they can get. So, the next week, Izuku gets driven up to the school, and he reads the name of it. Crane School. As he's dropped off with his backpack, books, and some stuff to just keep him entertained. As he runs around wondering what is this place, the door opens, and we see Tien Shinhan, still alive after a few thousand years, as he greets them, saying, "It's been a while, and they must be the spouses of Vegito," as they say yes, as they're dropping off Izuku to join the tournament. As Izuku says, "Why are they here?" and Tien says, "You are here to get stronger. I am also gonna make sure you can control that power that you have." As Izuku is just confused in general. He says, "Does he know about his Saiyan side yet?" "Shh, don't talk about that. He doesn't know yet." "Don't worry, I can handle this." "Now then, come in." Practice already started. As Izuku leaves, the big doors close and his mothers have to leave him. Izumi is just sitting in the car wondering what he's doing, but couldn't care. She's really quiet. She doesn't like talking to people. As we now focus onto Izuku and Tien Shinhan. Tien has Izuku run laps around the dojo to get his body limbered up, and then has him repeatedly hit sand with the palms of his hand and his knuckles. Izuku gets hurt but is constantly healed by people around him. Deku asks Tien what his quirk is, and Tien is more confused. Asking again, Izuku says, "What's your quirk?" As Tien says, this third eye on the top of my head. It allows me to use energies in weird ways." As Izuku accepts it. And Izuku wonders if he can use his quirk in the dojo to get stronger, and Tien flat out says not for a while. As first he's going to train his body and mind, and then he'll train his quirk. And Izuku asks a pretty obvious question. "Do I have to shave my head like yours and everyone else?" As Tien says, "If you want, you don't have to." As Izuku doesn't. He likes his hair. Tien continues to train him for a few more months until the Tenkaichi Budokai happens. And that's where I'm going to leave it off for today. Thank you for watching, and this will be a rebooted series if you didn't hear it at the beginning. Thank you.